So we know from work that's been done over the last several decades that marriage fosters great economic outcomes for kids. They're more likely to flourish socially, economically, and educationally. And what we're learning really now with this new research is that marriage matters not just for individual kids, but it matters for sort of the larger ecology, the larger state, the larger country. If you care about growth, if you care about child poverty, if you care about family median income, and if you care about the health of the American dream in your state, you should care about the family, because we find in this report that states with stronger married families are more likely to experience economic growth. It's a clear connection in this report, again, between strong families and more prosperous states. So what we see in the work on mobility, that is the odds that kids who are born to poor families will kind of move up the income ladder as adults, is that kids who are coming from states like Utah and North Dakota, where they are much more likely to be raised by married parent families, are more likely to break out of poverty, to move into the middle class, than kids that are born in states like South Carolina and North Carolina, where there are many more single-parent families, and they're much less likely to experience mobility as a consequence. Likewise, we find that child poverty is much higher in states like New Mexico and Louisiana, where there are lots of single-parent families. And it's much lower in states like North Dakota and Utah, where there are many fewer single-parent families, or a state like, again, like Minnesota or New Hampshire are states that experience low levels of child poverty, in part because there are more married parent families in those states. So again, there's a connection between the health of marriage in a state and the odds that kids in that state will experience child poverty. In states that have high levels of married parenthood, in states like Nebraska, for instance, in states like New Hampshire, that you are experiencing higher median family income. By contrast, in states like South Carolina and Louisiana, you see lower median family income, and that's partly because married families are more likely to obviously pool their income, and they're more likely to build assets over time, compared not just to single parent families, but also to cohabiting families.